Go.
Hey, folks, this is Ken McArthur, best-selling author of Impact, How to Get Noticed, Motivate Millions, and Make a Difference in a Noisy World. And I'm joined by the amazing Impact Master Panel with Tbone Jones, Frank Garon, and Larry Steinhouse. And we're going to go around the room and just introduce ourselves a little bit. And let's start today with Larry Steinhouse, because he has lots to say.
Hi, Ken. I am so excited that we do this show every week. All right, let me tell you who I am first. I'm Larry Steinhouse.
Yeah, thank you. Don't start on the other
I'm
stuff
already
yet.
starting.
Don't start. Don't
Give me
start.
30 seconds.
Don't start.
Yeah, I'm already starting. I'm Larry Steinhouse. I am the owner and CEO of and founder of Investor Schooling. And I teach people how to get rich. I teach people how to make money in the stock market and in real estate. And I have fun on this great creation that we created together. And we just can't get guests to cooperate, can we?
We'll get that next. Frank Garon.
Hello, everybody. This is Frank Garon, the formerly bankrupt truck driver from New Jersey who went on to make multiple six-figure income online. I am also with my esteemed partner and colleague, Dan Jonesy Jones, the owner and creator of conversionchemistry.com. I am also known as the voice of reason, which to this day still surprises me, but okay then.
See, it's always a good time to level up, every time, right? I'm Dan Jones, sometimes Jonesy, sometimes Tbone. I am the formerly disgruntled, nerdy IT worker turned entrepreneur who found his way by merging creativity with nerdiness, technology, and thus becoming an internet marketer. I am the founder and director and I guess eponymous Tbone Jones Solutions LLC.
Wait, the what?
The thing where the title is the eponymous. Is that how you say it? Eponymous.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're accelerating my vocabulary.
Eponymous. Yeah, I think that's the
a
word.
big word.
This is what happens when you take them off
Can you
the
spell that
farm.
word?
I can. It's actually one of those words I can probably write and spell and forgot how to pronounce.
Pretty
Yeah. I also am the founder and director of marketing agency Near Me LLC because you got to have a little fun with your brand names, I feel. I learned real estate investing from Larry Steinhouse, next level marketing from Ken McArthur, and now I'm getting into the sales game with Frank Garon here, my partner in Conversion Chemistry, where we teach entrepreneurs all about sales and marketing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So Larry, now it's your turn.
Well, I already gave my introduction.
Larry's in the hot
But I'm
seat.
going to tell you that I'm going to make this really simple. So if anybody out there would like to replace our guest who decided the last minute, oh, I have to work today because we scheduled this with him, a week ago? And he didn't know that he had to be here at 11:30 to be on a show at 11:30 and decided he wanted to do it later. So obviously he's not important. He's not important to himself. He's not important to us. So if anybody out there, just text us or send a DM or even comment if you want. We'll put it on the show right now, and we will help you with your business. That's what we do here. We help people with their businesses. We help them grow. So if you want to learn how to grow, you want to make your business stronger, you're going to get free advice from 4 experts. Just let us know, man, and be on the show. And you can be on the show anytime. So now that we have no guest, because the guy is, irresponsible.
Okay. Enough calling names.
I hate that.
I know. Well, I hate calling names.
I know you hate calling
this.
names,
So-
but I hate people who say they're going to do something and don't do it.
So, Larry, let me ask you this. If there is, obviously, exigent circumstances happen, what's your criteria for, holy crap, I'm running late, or, I got to run to the hospital? Tell me a little bit about what your criteria is for an acceptable excuse.
If the guy said he was running to the hospital, I'd say, okay, that's fine. But the guy didn't say. The guy agreed to be on the show. Ken already texted him this morning. The guy said he'd be there. Then all of a sudden he leaves Ken a voicemail. Oh, can we do it at 12 o'clock? No, the show is live at 11:30.
Sure.
Then then we give him the text message. He says, I'll be there, and he doesn't come. So what should we do?
Well, in that circumstance, we should have a backup, right? And we have our
Exactly
guests
right.
scheduled out, but we talked about this before. We really need to move forward with having somebody on standby where after X amount of weeks of them being on standby, then they come up. That entrepreneur ends up getting their slot
We
as the
had
primary.
somebody today that we could have put on the show, and we pushed him off to 2 weeks from now
Okay.
because we didn't know that this guy wasn't not going to show.
Well, I guess we need to be prepared for that. We're
and
going to have
and
to do that going
It's
forward.
bugging me.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Frank drives what, an hour and a half?
71 miles, good
71
sir.
to do the show,
71
right?
miles.
How far do you drive?
Don't ask me. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay. and then Ken and I are
10
in the
minutes.
office anyway.
Yeah.
But still, who wants to waste their time here when a guest says that they promised us they were going to show up?
That's what we do. You know how you combine, we have 100 years of marketing experience. We combined 10, 20, 40, 70 miles to get here.
Hey, Larry, text Timothy and see if he could show up.
At this point, I'd love to, but I don't think he's prepared. And,
I don't think he's
and
prepared.
we're already 5 minutes.
And we
in
need to
and-
give him. We need to give him fair.
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
time
I don't
anyway.
think. But if anybody wants to get some free advice, just start. Let me know. Leave us some DM me, or let us know, and we'll put you on the show right now, and we'll have a little bit of fun.
By the way, if you want to get on the show regularly, you can go to impactmasterpanel.com, and there is an application to fill out to be on the hot seat. And basically, all it's asking you is, what's your project,
Hey, you
and
want to hear
how are you
something
going
really
to do?
funny?
Sure.
I just got a text message from Tim.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because of the way last show went, he's afraid to be on the show.
Is he?
So now,
Oh dear.
that is so freaking funny. So come on, Tim, you're not a coward. I'm gonna put coward.
Come on,
I have to.
Tim. Come on. I'll be nice to you. I don't promise.
Really?
I don't make any promises about Larry whatsoever with any interaction. So there you go.
Really.
And you have the voice of reason here.
That's right. We finally
So-
have somebody reasonable on.
Since we've got like another 45 minutes or so, why don't we pick a topic about marketing and talk about it?
List building.
What?
List building. Frank, let me ask you this question. Isn't list building dead?
Ooh.
No, it is not. No, it is not. It's alive and it's alive and well in 2024. It's just that now you sort of have to give a little bit more and assume a little less. It's almost like you're getting them to when you're getting them.
Recording stopped.
I'm sorry, that was the Zoom. I turned it off. Go ahead, you keep going. So list building, right?
Yeah. So
Let me
list
start
building.
you back up.
List
Okay.
building in 2024. Okay, guys. So yes, it is still viable. Yes, it is still relevant. Yes, it is important because all these people on social media, if they're doing just YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, like that, they can lose their list,
Yeah,
quote unquote.
absolutely.
You have to own your own list. It's the only safety. I don't care what year it is. You need to own your own list. So that means opt in. That means using some good platform like Aweber and etc. Don't use MailChimp at all costs.
So why is that? I'm curious.
Don't use Mail. Oh, why MailChimp?
Why is MailChimp a problem?
I don't trust them. I took some of my Aweber list just as a test to double opt in, mind you, Larry. Double opt in, bought them over to MailChimp. It worked good for a few weeks. I'm like, okay, this is a cool backup. I wake up one day, my account shut down. I go, oh, that's weird. I asked them why. They go, oh, we just don't want your business.
What?
Now, yeah. Say that again,
They didn't
Larry.
even give you a reason, like
No. Nope.
wow.
Judge, jury, and executioner. So
Wow,
you,
so that happened to me with another company, and I can't remember what it was. A company I used really early, where I was same thing with investor schooling. We using and I just don't remember what it was. And when they just shut our account down, then we went to
Well,
Infusionsoft.
Yeah, and they were like that
Remember
though
who it
too.
was though? No, I don't remember who it was. But it was another one of those big companies that's nobody even talks about them anymore, actually. And I guess that's why. And then we went to Infusionsoft, which, by the way, is crazy to use.
oh, it's
Infusionsoft
complicated.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, Infusionsoft would also shut you down for almost nothing, especially at the beginning of it.
Really?
They were shutting down accounts like crazy. I like knowing the owner of the company.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I know Tom at Aweber.
Yeah,
and
I know Tom
Sean
at
at
Aweber too. And the other thing is, no matter who the platform is, they can shut you down at any time. So export those emails on a regular basis so that you
Religiously.
have
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So you got some kind of a backup.
I tell you what, Infusionsoft runs the heart of investor schooling. If Infusionsoft ever shut me down, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah,
All
you
of my
would.
processes go through Infusionsoft.
And they could shut you down just like that, and they don't have to have much of a reason for doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for anything. I mean, we were talking to George Bruno who comes to the one-day intensive mastermind, which, by the way, since I'm giving a commercial, you can go to ken1day.com and you can experience this group in person May 28th. But George has a fantastic YouTube channel, but everything's going through there. It's building fast, but if you don't build up some kind of a backup to that system, YouTube. Larry, how fast can YouTube shut you down?
I can't. YouTube shut me down just for saying certain thing that you wore around your face during a certain period of time that was a scam. Because I said that it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And proved it. That they shut me down. I can't say it now because we're transmitting to YouTube. They'll shut me down again.
A certain little thing. Yeah.
And rightly so. How dare you have a differing opinion than anybody else? America was not built on that, sir.
Yeah, I know.
It was built on groupthink.
I know. Could you imagine that, that there could be such a time in life where the dictators told us exactly what to do and people listened?
Yeah.
It amazes me.
Yeah. I'm glad we fought and died for our freedom.
And that same person wants to rerun for president.
All these people. It's insane. Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, so list building. I love George, but he's sitting on a powder keg, man.
Yeah.
Could go, and I love you, George, but, man, you got to get people on a list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of people don't realize how important a list is when it's small. I mean, a lot of people start out and they say, I don't have a list. What do they do to get started?
So yeah, great. That's a great question.
Well, the first thing is, number one, actually have a website that has something above the fold other than like pictures and graphics and whatnot, because it's like a folded over newspaper. Everything above the fold is important. And it's just like in copy, Ken. The purpose of the headline is to get you to read the subheadline. Purpose of the subheadline is to get you to read the first sentence in the first paragraph, and so on and so on and so on. So if you have a web page that has anything other than a reason for people to opt in at some point close to the top, you're not going to be able to build a list. You have to ask for that. Give them something. There's so much PLR out there in just about every subject. Between taking a piece of PLR and running it through like a Frank bot or Chat GPT, running through Chat GPT, or Armin Morin's beauty known as
Goody AI.
Goody AI, right? Our buddy Armin. So you could take PLR, a special report. You can even have somebody ghostwrite that on Fiverr, throw some graphics in there, make sure it's actually worth reading, and you can get your first few subscribers.
Want to hear something interesting? Our hot seat says he's in now. I don't think Larry has the patience for it.
See, Frank agrees with me. If the guy can't be here at 11:15, why do we want to put him on? Just to make the show entertaining and for me to yell at him?
Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Jamie, if you're listening, you probably don't want to be on the hot seat today because Larry is already irritated.
He didn't want to be on the hot seat ever because he didn't show up.
Yeah.
If he told me he got into a car accident or he had to change his tire or he was on his way to the hospital, that's fine. But no, I just decided that I wanted to do it at 12 o'clock. That was his answer. So screw him.
No, he asked.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and then he said what? Then he said that he would be here.
Yeah, I know.
I was on such a good roll with list building.
I know you were. You were doing a great job, and I shouldn't even have brought it up.
Yeah, you shouldn't have brought it up.
It's my fault.
You pulled the lion's tail again, Ken.
I did.
That's what you did.
I did.
We need to charge people $1,000.
They might still not show up.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, but
I
at
think
least
they wouldn't
That's okay.
sign up.
And
is
then,
what I-
and then if they show up and stay on the whole show, we refund their $1,000.
well, they get their money's worth too for that. Even for that
It's insane.
$1,000.
How could somebody not want to be on a show where four experts are going to teach them how to help their business?
It's a brain trust here.
It's a brain trust.
So opt in.
Yes,
Okay.
like the opt-ins.
Above the fold, offer value. Like I say, if you don't know what to offer, hit one of us up. Hit me, Jonesy, Ken, Larry, if it's real estate, whatever. We'll tell you something out there. There's something out there, I should say, that we can tell you that you can use as a free report, a specialist, a special ad. You can also do a little YouTube video. Hey guys, welcome to my list. This is what you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. You basically have to sell the opt-in anymore. 25 years ago, Ken, everybody opted in for everything. You know, it's just what you did.
You know, that whole thing of get by with a little help from your friends. We did that, getting by with a little help from our friends when we first started JV Alert, just as a little group of marketers. It was a secret group. And by inviting people after they subscribed to our email list to also subscribe to other email lists, we built up 30 million people on subscriber lists. So that's something just as simple as that, you know, because people who are interested in a topic always want more. I call it porcupines in heat.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's porcupines in heat. The story is that porcupines only come into heat very, very rarely, but when they do, they get really, really excited. And you can picture that in your head, a porcupine in heat. Kind of dangerous people are. So if you suddenly get interested in photography, or you suddenly get interested in making films, or you suddenly get interested in how to, you know, do woodworking or something like that, you want to buy every product in the world, you want to sign up for every lesson, you want to go to the workshops, but 6 months later, you may have decided that it's not exactly what you imagined it would be. So the time to get people is right then. So when it comes to email opt-in, if they want to grab everything right now, why not recommend your friends and have them recommend you, and then build up those lists of really passionate people that are really excited about that topic right now.
So I'm on email lists of so many different things.
Yeah.
And all I do is go delete. I don't even read them anymore.
But you're old.
No, that may be the answer. You're older than me. Just want to keep that in mind.
No, it's a different mindset, I think, when we subscribe for things. It goes back to the porcupines in heat, I think. Right. It's like when I was excited about filmmaking, I signed up for everything that I could get my hands on, every newsletter, but now I just skim them to see if there's anything interested in the headline. That points out the importance of headlines in email marketing. So,
well, it's funny you say that, because of all the lists, a lot of lists I subscribe to, because I don't want to miss anything just in case.
Yep.
But there are a few that I absolutely read. Martin Avis, I'll read every one of his. Paul Myers, up in Erie, PA. How long's he been around? I read all of his. Terry Dean, Marlon Sanders. Same people for 20, 25 years, Ken.
Yeah.
I still listen to, take guidance from, etc. So they're doing, I guess the good question is, what are they doing that's different? Well, Martin Avis, half the time he's talking about going to the movies or a restaurant he was at. So you get to know him and his wife and his family and all, and somehow you get pulled in. And he's a great guy. He used to do those London lunches.
It's just people you want to know.
Yeah, Paul Myers is like a tech whiz, you know? He always comes up with stuff. I'm like, what does he do in his spare time? You know? So
actually, Paul Myers used to be on the very original hot seats that I did online. When we did teleconferencing, we had an Impact master panel that included people like Mark Joyner and Paul Myers and some of those great names from years and years and years ago.
So you three experts, can you tell me how we can build a list? So if I was to start a company right now, I don't know, ABC Widget Company, all right, what would I do to start a list?
From a tech perspective or an offer perspective?
You know, both.
Okay, so from tech, it's like what Frank said. You need some sort of autoresponder or marketing platform.
So like Aweber.
Aweber, yep.
Right? Okay.
Aweber, landing page, connect them.
Okay,
so that part's done.
Aweber has its own landing page, or?
Yes.
They have
I also
page templates.
They do, but I still recommend you keep it on a separate platform, which is also going to be your web host. From a tech side, we keep all those things separate for the same reasons we already talked about, is not letting one platform hold everything hostage.
Sure, okay. All right, so now you created a landing page with an opt-in form.
Yeah.
And now, why would somebody want to be on your list?
A compelling offer.
Yeah.
What
It's
are some
either-
compelling offers that you think would be great?
So you're talking about widgets, then you offer a discount right away to join the list, because if you're a startup, you have to invest in advertising one way or another. You might as well tie it directly to the sale. So you're only going to spend, or I guess lose the opportunity of the extra revenue by offering that discount, but it's tied directly to the sale, right?
Okay, so
15% off,
so
20% off first
would it
purchase,
be
whatever.
only people who are interested in that widget then?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how are you getting brand awareness of the widget company?
Any number of ways. You can offer an affiliate program, which is the people who may not necessarily be buying it but are willing to promote it. So you can create awareness that way. It's almost twofold. One, you get the opt-ins to apply for the affiliate program, and two, you got somebody shilling your product now, just
Right,
based
but
on it.
We're a brand new company, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
right? Brand new company, widget company. I want to get people on my list. I mean, what is it after 1 year? How many people should I have on my list that would be reasonable? A reasonable number.
At least 15,000.
You think I can get 15,000 people on a list? I don't even have
Yeah.
15,000 people on investor schooling list, and we've been in business almost 7 years.
Well, you're also, until recently, very geographically focused.
Oh, that's fine, but okay, but I just think 15,000 people in 1 year on a list is an unreasonable number.
No, not at all. If you're,
What do you guys think?
let's just
What do you
say,
think, Frank?
I think it's a great number and doable. I also would say...
Have you done it before?
Oh, yeah.
You've gotten 15,000 people on a list in 1 year?
I peaked at 250,000 on
1 year?
on my old... No.
No, but
Over
2
or 5 years, 250,000.
It's amazing. Ken, have you ever done that?
Well, we built
15,000 in a year?
Yeah, we built 30,000. We did $250,000 worth of recurring revenue in the first 6 months, and we had 30,000 members on a website.
And then same thing with you. You've done 15,000 a year?
oh yeah, yeah.
That's impressive, guys.
Yeah.
I like have no idea. I mean, maybe, it may be my limited beliefs that never can believe that you can do 15,000 in a year from a brand new startup. Or a
Yeah, if you
brand
go
new startup.
viral,
You
sure.
sure. I mean, look, you got to spend money to get to that in a typical
Okay.
result.
No,
but
you don't have
well,
to
here's
spend
what I'm
money.
getting at. Well,
I'm just gonna say that I didn't do it spending money because I've never had any money in my life to invest in my businesses. So there you go.
So you can either work hard at it or spend money.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so how would you
Or you
recommend?
can
'cause this is-
leverage what you got.
I'm so fascinated. I almost want to set up a test company just to see if it works. But how would you get 15,000 people on the list in 1 year?
I would run a contest and collaborate with influencers.
So
Which
we ran a contest. I ran a contest on Investor School
Oh,
3
dear.
or 4 years ago. And we were giving away a BMW,
Yeah.
giving a car away,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't even get people to participate.
You know why though, and I identified this really early on, and you have to set these expectations if you're going to do an opt-in program, or you're going to do a contest. Most people do not relate to I will be able to win a BMW. In other words, they don't think it's going to happen to them. It's like winning the lottery or something like that. Now, as a matter of fact, having seen the behind the scenes of that campaign, anybody could have won that BMW if they really wanted to do it. You were
Yeah, right.
asking them to do things. And I kept telling people, you guys should do this. You would get a BMW. You really would
Right.
get a BMW. And it would probably take you 2 hours worth of effort at
Yeah,
this
it was-
point
it was
because they weren't
fascinating.
getting they're trying to build virality off of an offer like that and get other people to promote it.
But you know what? I tell you what, Davin Michaels also tried to give away a BMW, and it didn't work for him either.
Yeah, it doesn't work for a lot of people. So I don't think giving away a BMW. Now it's perceived value, but it's also relatability. Can I really get this? Do I really have a chance of getting this? Now if you sign up on a form and it says you're going to get a 20% discount if you sign up, you're going to get the 20% discount, or you
Right.
reasonably assume that you're going to get it 100% of the time. What you were trying to do was you were trying to get people to take an action that would be viral to
Sure,
build the
yeah,
viral
yeah.
aspect of this. And
And
getting
it was
people to
fun, too.
do
And it was a fun-
anything.
right, it was a
Yeah,
fun
but they had to
contest,
put
yeah.
together a video and
Yeah, it was
then
a fun contest.
yeah. Well, as soon as you ask somebody to put together a video, it's a tough thing. So I was on Top Affiliate Challenge, which was a spinoff after Next Internet Millionaire from Joel Comm, and he tried to do that too. You had to compete to get opt-ins, basically, to get on the show. And he did it fairly successfully, fairly successfully. But it is hard. It is hard to get people to do that. You would think that people would jump all over this, and you think the kids are video savvy and stuff like that, but it's hard to get it unless you have tremendous momentum already at the start. If you've got something to seed it. So when we talk about viral programs, we're talking about the important aspects are the initial seed, number one. Can you start with 1,000 or can you start with 30,000 people? Will it spread faster if you do that? The other thing is this something that's easy for people to spread? In other words, can they remember it? Can they remember the URL? Can they remember what it's all about? Do they have a real reason to do it? Is it easy as hell to do? Can you just click on one button, or do you have to actually fill out stuff? All of those kinds of elements really play into the viral content. And then the next thing is the cycle time, because the difference between exponential growth and just linear kinds of growth is the cycle time. That's the exponential factor. And the shorter you make the cycle time. So if you can get that cycle time down where people are recommending this thing that people are doing it every single minute, every single day, then the hockey stick curve takes off, and that's where you get exponential growth. That's where you get 30 million subscribers.
Okay, so I have my contest on Facebook, my win $200 contest.
Yeah.
Right, and it's hysterical because it hasn't really gone viral, but it's got 5,200 comments on it.
Right.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's a post that I wrote that the last comment gets $200. You have to be the last comment for 7 days. So what if I opened a website right now that said win200.com, and I said that the last person who puts in their email address to get on my email list wins $200 if they're the last person for, I don't know, 7 days.
Yeah.
Would that work?
It would be more difficult than getting that on Facebook. And the reason is because they've got to click, they got to go off of Facebook or whatever platform.
No, but this is separate.
I know it's a separate thing. I'm just comparing the two. In other words,
but how do I get people there?
One got, how long has that post been on Facebook?
It'll be a year in August.
Yeah, about a year. So it took you about a year, and you got how many comments?
5,200 comments.
Yeah, 5,200 comments. So you could do this if people believed you, number one. The people on Facebook have some familiarity with you. They know you and stuff like that. And then they'd have to have some kind of expectation that they were going to actually be lucky enough to be that one. And the responsibility, the amount of information that you're trying to get them to give up is much greater. In other words, if you're trying to get them to opt in, you're asking them to put in a name and email address, and they're assuming that you're going to send them a bunch of email and stuff like that. So if they don't want that email, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder than it is on Facebook just to get somebody to write in a comment and it's done. So those are the factors. I mean, and usually we don't consider those factors when we think about it. We think, oh, well, this is just like this. In other words, the Facebook post, which is easy and it gets exposed to lots of people because every time somebody comments on it, it goes out to a bunch of people, maybe not millions of people, but it goes out to a lot of people, especially if they've already commented on it. So if they're one of the people that gets commented on, then it hits them again and again and again. How many times has that showed up in my feed? So that's the element that you're getting. You're getting that rapid viral loop turnover time, the cycle time, which is one of the crucial things. You won't get that on a sign-up form for an email list.
So I'm still trying to figure out how to get 15,000 people on an email list on a new company.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you guys have said you've done it, and you're saying give something away. So I just said, what about the $200? That's not going to work, according to you.
Well, I don't know whether it'll work or not. I'm just saying it'll be harder.
What would we give away? Yeah. What would be something we could give away that would get a list to 15,000 a year?
Well, what were the requirements for the BMW giveaway?
What was that? Sorry.
What were the requirements? It sounds like it was more than just an opt-in.
Yeah, they had to do a video, invite their friends.
No,
and
I'm
win the
talking about
contest.
that's something different. I'm talking about okay, look, we have the Impact Master Panel.
Mm-hmm.
Have we put together a email list for the Impact Master Panel yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're basically telling people to do things that we're not doing,
Yes.
Yes.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I already have a problem with our own group. So we're all fired.
It's going to be a lot of dead air, though.
I can't yell at myself and I can't yell at you guys because then you guys won't come back like everybody else.
Yeah, that's
We're working
So how
on
do
it.
we? So why don't we do this? Why don't we have an experiment? And we do this and we create a list for the Impact Master Panel. Well, it's actually impactmasterpanel.com, right? ImpactMasterPanel.com.
First thing is learn your URL.
I know. So Impact Master Panel, we create a list. Do we have to give? What do we want to give away?
Larry will be nice to you for one show.
We have to talk to those guys over at Conversion Chemistry and see if they have anything.
I'm serious about this though. What would we give away? And why would somebody be on our list?
What do we give away?
The main reason is, here is part of it, positioning wise, right?
To one person.
Some people take into assumptions kill you, right? And positioning is king. So if it were competitive to get onto the panel, you could use that as an incentive to get in. You just have to build it up.
So I believe
when
this
we're-
show,
when
I
we're
believe it will
built
become
up,
competitive.
yeah.
I believe that once this show gets going, there's going to be people banging the door down to be on this show.
Yeah.
There's not enough people who know about it.
Right, I
And
know.
and the people were, like I'm sorry, but going to last week's guest, I mean, she really had no plan, no nothing. So now we'll have people who will actually have a plan, have something they want to do. The guy today, I mean, well, Ken's going to have me on his show. It's not all that important to me. Clearly, it's not. So that's why he's not here. But once we have this going, that's going to happen. But I believe the list will help us get there. So how do we start? Honestly, I'm challenging you guys because I'm not the smartest marketer here. I know marketing. I know it pretty well, but I don't know it like you guys know it. So I'm challenging you guys to put 15,000 people on a list in 1 year. And if you do that,
I get to stay on the show.
We'll not only have people banging the door down to be on this show, but we also will prove that what we say is true. I mean, we told this guy weeks ago. I assume he's still making those videos. Have you seen them?
Yes, he is.
Yes,
He's
he
making
is.
a video
Yep,
every day,
yep,
right?
yep.
So he's growing, right? He's growing in his videos. I have to look. I haven't seen, but what a great idea we gave him, and he's getting better at it, and he's doing it. But have we proven to him that that's going to work? Now, I believe that it has because I know I did it in the past and it worked. But what about building a list of? I don't even get. Let's just do this. Are you guys cool with 10,000 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
10,000 people on a list by when? By this time next year?
By Memorial Day next year.
By Memorial Day next year. Okay. So if we have 10,000 people by Memorial Day next year on this list, not only is this show going to be great because we're going to have so many people banging the door now to get it, but we're also going to say, listen, we sat here in a show and we said we were going to do it and we did it. Now let's teach you how to do it. Or do it for them. I don't care. I mean, you guys have a company that you're doing this, right?
Yes.
That you're teaching people this.
That's
so
what we do.
What a great way to prove that everything you say you do. Well, you say. Something like that.
Either one.
You don't love me like you used to.
Right? And if not, we'll close the show quietly and nobody will notice.
Exactly.
Anybody out there watching the show have a comment on this? Right? Look, even Linda, my wife, said this is actually very beneficial.
Yeah.
She likes the idea of doing that because, honestly, she wants to do a business. She wants to do a health and wellness business, and she wants to build a list. So she would be great to learn how we do it. She could do it, or she could have me do it, or have you guys do it. So this would be a great idea.
The first thing we got to start with is we got to have consistent people that want to be on the panel. So I think that we need to keep spreading the word, number one, but inviting people into this. But I think we need to personally invite them in because if they don't if they don't know what they're getting into and they don't know what the purpose of the show is for, and they just have a vague idea. I think that'll build up over time that people will see what it's like. But I think we have to have good examples of that out there to show what we can do for people.
Yeah, so far 60% of our examples are guests either not knowing what they're doing or not showing up.
All right.
Which is
So that's
bad.
a big problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
weird. I never expected that, to be honest with you guys. I thought people
I know,
would be
with Larry-
lining up. For,
Larry said, "We'll have no problem. We'll have
Yeah, I
5
thought so,
people."
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
Larry.
we'd have guests like that, But the problem is, I think people are they are look. Tim just decided he didn't want to be on the show in 2 weeks because he's afraid he's going to get beat up. Tim, if you're watching the show, you want to be beat up. You want to learn what we're going to teach you, and your business is going to grow.
Well, that vet didn't get beat up. He got sensible advice from the heart,
Right.
and
he took action. And that's what this is for. We're not here to smash you to smithereens and defeat your
that's
ego.
right. And,
Yeah.
and I think that
I mean, last week was just a bad example because the woman just didn't know what she wanted.
that's true. She wanted to know what to do. She wanted
Right.
to know what to do.
I'm not going to get there. Let's not belabor that again.
Yeah.
But let's get into what
So
we need
part
to
of
do to
it,
build a list.
part of it should be we should set up a system to correct Larry's name calling.
Look, all I want is people who are serious.
I know what
And
you
if
want.
they're serious,
I know what you
we
want.
can actually help them. If they're not serious, we can help them. Look, it goes back to this guy today. How serious was he to be on this show if he didn't even show up?
Yeah.
And then he shows up 15 minutes later. Oh, I'm here now. Screw you. No, sorry. It doesn't work that way. Okay.
Well,
We were here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Hey, do me a favor. Book him for 2 o'clock today. We're not going to be here, but
I'm
let
so-
him,
I'm
let him,
sorry.
I'm
let him
tracking.
experience what we
I'm
experienced.
tracking.
Not
right.
helpful.
All right,
Doesn't solve the problem.
Now we're quiet again.
Doesn't
so-
solve the problem.
Well-
So we're gonna
so
build
here's what solves the problem. We need quality people that have a project that's a real project that they want to
Right.
put on the hot seat. You should know that you probably should not put your project on a hot seat if what you're trying to do is get publicity for your project.
Correct.
I mean, I think a lot of people come into a hot seat and they say, I'm going to be able to put my show on. I'll show off how beautiful my latest new thing is, and it will take off, and all that publicity will generate business for me. And I don't think that's the purpose of the hot seat. The purpose of the hot seat is to come here to have your business or your idea analyzed by a group of people who have been through this a million times before and can see all kinds of dangers or all kinds of opportunities for you that maybe you can't think of or haven't thought of, because working together we can do so much more than we can apart. So, I mean, the idea is that you should come in with the idea that we're going to help you with your project and help you achieve your goals. And I think that we should be supportive of people that want to do that, but I think we should vet the projects to the point that we decide that this is something that's worth examining. And I think that the only way that you can kickstart that kind of thing is to go out to people that you know, or people on Facebook or whatever that are having projects, and suggest to them, you may want to get some input from this panel because it's going to be pure gold. So I think we have to reach out, and I think we are going to have to come up with a system of backup. So we got to get this up to the point where we not only have somebody scheduled, but we have somebody standing in the wings. I did that for years and years at the Impact event. We always had a backup waiting to
Yeah.
go if the person didn't show up. And I can tell you there were lots of times when the person just doesn't show up.
All right. So now we need to find people and we need to find backups. So here's the next question for you, brilliant marketers. And I don't say that. I'm saying it sounding sarcastic, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me.
I know when you I know your tone. Continue.
How do we get the word out for this show to get more people to come on and the hot seat?
Well, I mean, Ken just said it. First and foremost is we use our internal communities.
Okay, so so we've been doing this for 5 weeks now,
It's been
right?
about a month, yeah.
And we're having trouble with guests. So how would we go out to our community and say, hey, do you want to be a guest in the show?
Well, I mean, we literally just built the website last week, right? I'm going to actually backtrack and say the way this show started and has progressed is like totally the antithesis of all the advice we give, because we didn't really have a plan besides let's just put somebody on a hot seat. It's this, Larry, you just happen to have a studio, a broadcasting studio. And the four of us just happened to be in the same room at the same time at
Right.
Ken's one-day intensive, where the Impact event was coming up, where the hot seat was, that's one of the agenda pieces. So it was all on top of mind, and your idea was, hey, let's just do this digitally. Okay, yeah, we can do that. It takes like, the effort is us showing up. We already have the knowledge, we have the experience, we have the tech, we have the platforms already ready to go. We just kind of plugged in a bunch of pieces, and we went into it without a plan. This wouldn't survive on a hot seat right now. This entire show.
So it's funny you say that, because I actually agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that if somebody was to hot seat this show, they'd go, think you're doing everything wrong.
Well, here's what you're not doing wrong, though, Larry, and people should learn from this. Number one, you came up with an idea, but you didn't just think about the idea. We executed the idea, and it was up next week. Number two, I don't remember what the heck number two was.
What about number
But
three?
it was
then?
it was
you want to know number two? Number two is we've been here and we show
Yeah,
up every
that
week.
Yeah,
that
every
wasn't.
week.
We
That
show up every
absolutely
week. Now, next
wasn't.
week I'm going to be in the Bahamas, so we can't do the show next week only because I'm the only one who knows the technology at the moment. But normally I'm going to teach Dan or somebody else the technology, so when I'm not here, we could do the technology. But next week we won't be here, but we're already scheduled for the 20th. We thought we had Tim, but we'll get somebody else. That's fine, and they'll be on the hot seat. But we have 2 weeks to get somebody on the hot seat. We also have some time to build the email list.
Why am I getting pointed at?
Because you're the
You
techie.
know how to do it. I don't. Listen, honestly, if I
See how this rabbit hole goes
built-
down.
No, I built email list capture systems, and I've never. I reached 10,000 people on investor schooling over years.
I've got an
So,
AWeber account.
I
I
can't
can
do
set
what you
up
do.
an opt-in
Okay.
form, but the question is, what are we doing to incentivize people to sign up?
Yeah, which is where we were before.
Well-
So why don't we verbalize how we're going to build this? Because somebody listening might really enjoy this. How do we build? So we go to AWeber, we build the page. I got it. But what
Right.
are we going to give away? We want to give away a free pamphlet, a free piece of advice on how to. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, so the initial one, I don't have the answer right now. I got to think about it
Okay.
because there's so many different types of content, value-added content that you can do. Like, I subscribe to Tim Ferriss's 5-Bullet Friday. He's the 4-hour work week guy. There's no sale. There's no transaction. I'm simply a consumer, an admirer of him and a consumer of his content. But every Friday, he goes through a list of 5 tools he tried, whatever the case may be. And that's something I look forward to. I subscribe to
Great,
other
yeah.
ones that have, they're straight up, it's price sensitivity because I get a 20% discount on something. Can as conversion chemistry, can we offer a discount? Probably, but I don't have the answer right now. It's
Okay,
something
that's
we
fine.
have to plan to marinate
And
on.
again, it's funny. The reason I'm bringing it up is so now I'm pointing out the things that everyone else building a list has problems with.
Right.
What do you give away? How do you get people on the
Right.
list? So that's really why I want to bring it up, because I think it's great for the audience to see that, look, even experts are struggling with the same thing you're struggling with.
And then what is the point of the list? We're going to be all transparent here, right? Are we going to use the list for promoting affiliates? Are we going to use it for promoting our own ventures? Is it going to be...
I really don't know.
Right, so we have to answer that
You
question.
could tell me whatever you want to do with the list. It's fine. But the most important thing for the list is to number one, prove that we can do it, and two is to get people on the show. I mean, if we're emailing 10,000 people, hey, do you want to be on the show this week? Or hey, did you watch the show last week when we talked about people who didn't show up?
Yeah, so this was designed as something that we thought would be beneficial for the people that are coming on, number one, but also be beneficial to us to bring people to our ideas and our
Absolutely.
programs and the things that we're doing. So that's the purpose of the list right now, is to promote the show. So if we can build up a regular subscriber base. Now we can decide as a group if we want to monetize this group, because we haven't set up a monetization plan for this specific group,
Right.
and doing it that way.
At the moment, our number one thing that we want to do is we want to get exposure and help people build their business.
Right, exactly.
That's our number one thing we want to do. I mean, it's all existentialism at
And
the moment.
we have resources. I have resources. I mean, I have a whole 500-page workbook on creating information products, or I've got a joint venture ebook that could be given away. Whether or not those things capture people's attention is a whole nother thing.
I know how to prepare for a webinar or podcast guest.
That might be a great resource. How to prepare and be consistent and show up professionally if you're going to be a podcast.
Show
guest.
up.
Yeah.
I have to say that the people that showed up, and this is the voice of reason talking, the people that did show up got their money's worth and then some. They got a blank ton of good advice.
The
you know
two
what
people
I'm saying?
that listened to our advice, one guy got upset, and then he called and he sent an email to us saying how great the advice was, and then the other guy, the dog guy, the veterinarian, he's killing it.
Oh, I'm going to make that. My goal is to make him famous. I want
got
him
you.
to be the Dr. Kelly Starrett for dogs.
Right, he
is my
could
goal.
be.
Yeah.
Right, and then we
If
got
he
people
listens
who
to us.
they don't even show up on time
Yeah.
or show up at all.
I was looking forward to this. I'm not going to name names, but I was looking forward to it. I had some good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all looking forward to
No,
it.
this guy had a business at least.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't very important to him. And that drives me nuts too. I mean, if this is important to you, show up on time. Anything. Look, my philosophy is real simple. 10 minutes early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable for anything. I had somebody the other day, actually, it was somebody I met at your Impact event,
Oh yeah.
right? Who was supposed to give me advice on something. I'm not going to tell you who it was or what it was, And we had a Zoom call on Saturday morning at 12 o'clock. I was supposed to go to, I was asked to go to lunch with my wife and her family. I said, I'm sorry, I have this Zoom call that I have to be on.
No shot.
And he didn't show.
Killed me.
So this guy was trying to sell me something. Do you know what the odds are that I will buy from him?
-0.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, -0.
That's it.
There is no chance he will ever do business with me because I gave up a lunch I could have enjoyed with my family for him, and he didn't show up.
It's time to put him in your sales funnel. Time to put him into your sales funnel now. Reverse Uno card him.
I don't care. I have no interest in him. I have no interest in talking to him anymore. Period.
It's weird in the digital age how people. This might be a greater a problem that comes from just the internet. Easy come, easy go. You don't meet. That's why it's so important to build relationships, Ken, because it's easy come, easy go. Hey, the guy doesn't show up, or this girl doesn't like the advice. What are the repercussions of that? There aren't any. But in the real world, you would be socially shamed, or you'd feel shame yourself. I'm not talking about today's guy because I don't even know his deal. I'm saying in general, you make an appointment, you show the hell up. It's polite, if nothing else.
Yeah.
The big problem is the entitlement. It's the entitlement of what everybody's like. Oh, I'm going to be a millionaire because I want to be one. No, you have to work at being a millionaire. I'm going to have a list. I'm going to have to talk to all these people, and I'm entitled to be on Ken's show, the Impact Master Panel, because I have a great product. Sorry, you didn't even have a great product, and we're going to help you with it. And if you can't show up on time, then you're not entitled to anything. And I think that's part of what's going on in the country right now, and that's part of why I'm angry at last week and this week and the one that didn't show up the other time. Oh, I didn't know what time zone it was. Now, how many times did you tell him what time zone it was?
It's all over everything now. Every communication.
We only have 4. You know?
Right.
It's
But
not like
meanwhile,
you're
we have
traveling
people who
across.
show up and they got great advice and
They
they're actually
did.
taking it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. The one guy, the very first guy, the guy with the solar, he actually wrote to me. He got business out of it.
Yeah.
He actually got people signing up to do his thing
Yeah.
because he was on the show.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
I drive 71 miles. That's all I'm going to say to do this. I have a ton of other things
So you could be doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
and should be doing.
Exactly.
Should be doing.
Yeah, I agree.
The real estate, the land business is working. The stuff I'm doing with Jonesy's,
Oh yeah,
working.
it costs us a ton of money to be in this room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to throw back to the solar guy, Jesse. He was in the Philippines, so time zone wasn't even an issue for him.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
12 hours apart. It was midnight when
Right.
he
Oh, I
decided
remember
to come
that
on.
dude.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are, afraid to get beat up on the show, go back and watch that show. Go back and watch the show with Anton.
Anton, yeah.
Go back and watch the show with the veterinarian, and watch to see how these guys change their lives being on this show.
Yeah, I think nobody's perfect. We're all doing the best we can, but or maybe we're not doing the best we can, and we can always do better. But we're taking our own advice here. So you saw a little bit of that today, where we didn't have everything lined up for this show that it was in perfect order. Some of the reasons that people may have showed up at the wrong time zone or not been prepared or whatever. Some of the responsibility falls on me, but we're learning to make those things better, and let's prove that we can make this show 100% impactful, for the lack of a better word.
There's that word again.
I don't know another show that does this. I mean, I don't get out much, but, I don't know another show that does this where you have 4 people who are going to take time out of their day and give you advice. If you figure what the cumulative wealth or worth of the 4 of us for an hour, that's a hell of a consulting fee. And the advice we gave was actionable. It wasn't theoretical, it was advice. It was, go do this now.
Yeah.
We need to fix this now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Larry's a bit of a rebel. I like to think that you yell because you care.
I do care.
And you're not an
Exactly
insane megalomaniac.
That's right. I really do care about the people. Like, even the girl who showed up last week, I cared about her.
Yeah.
Because she showed up.
Yeah.
Until she chickened out, that's when I stopped caring. This guy today, I don't care about him because he didn't show up at all. The guy with the time zone, I don't care about him. The guy who didn't show up on Saturday to sell me something, I don't care about him anymore.
Yeah, that would tick me off on a Saturday.
Complete irresponsibility. But if you're going to show up on this show, you're gonna hear me, maybe point some things out that you're not going to be comfortable with. But I promise you that those things need to be pointed out, and you're going to learn from that, and you're going to learn from the rest of the panel as well.
The other 3, the voice of reason, Frank Garon.
The entrepreneur catalyst, Dan Jones.
Wow.
And our dear friend.
Dear friend, that's got to be Larry Steinhouse,
That's
right?
got to be you.
Everybody loves you, Ken.
You guys know what Fred Pacimo nicknamed me, right?
No.
The compassionate asshole.
Oh.
And it's
That's
so
right.
fitting. It's so fitting.
Yeah.
Right? So just understand that I really do care about you, but you may hear it a little abrupt.
Yeah, a little abrupt sometimes. So anyway, if you want to be on the Impact Master Panel, you should go to impactmasterpanel.com. Be really clear about your intention to be here. We asked our panelists to be here early, and we asked our hot seat participants to come 15 minutes earlier.
11:15.
It's 11:15 Eastern time.
Right.
And if you fill out the form at impactmasterpanel.com and you show up at 11:15 and you get the Zoom link and you come in and join us, we'll be happy to give you some great advice about your business. And we do have the desire to make that impact so much bigger than you ever imagined. So definitely do that.
I'd like to say something about that preamble. The preamble is just that, to get to know somebody and build a little bit of rapport before you go on the air. That's why we ask you to be 15 minutes early. And, a good sound check. And this way we're ready at 11:30 because it's a show. You don't want dead air. And at 11:30, it's like, roll tape. Joe, what do you got for us?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're ready.
And this
Get
is
in
a
the car
live
and drive.
This is a live show. We do not postpone it for anything. Just in case any of you were wondering, we started right on time, right to the second. Every single week we've been here. We will not be here next week. Because we have a special absence while...
More importantly, because next week these guys are going to be creating things like SOPs for the show and lists.
That you're going to listen to as well and learn from.
That would be a good idea.
Sure, yeah.
And
Good
we all
luck with
learn.
that one.
We all learn.
Yeah, we all learn.
No, we all learn.
That's true. How great could we make something of this program if we had these four people to assist in doing just that? How big of a list could we build? How much awareness could we build if we just work together to make something like that happen? I think
love
it's
it.
pretty amazing potential. Anything else that anybody wants to add to today's session? We're going to wrap this up really quickly. Anything you want to join? Anybody online that has something they want to say? Just type
hi.
in the comments. Who said hi? Oh,
George
George Bruno. We were talking about you. We love you. Yeah.
There's a guy going places.
Yeah, come down and join us sometime. We'll put him on the expert panel.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So George is an amazing YouTuber, and you can just look for George Bruno. What's the name of the show?
Listen, My Son.
Yeah, Listen, My Son.
And the Fire Your Boss podcast featuring
Frank Garon and
Dan Jones.
all right.
Where
That's fantastic.
we're collaborating with George on that show.
And if you're not doing anything Thursday night, you could come join.
Investor schooling.
At least the two of us will be there. So we'll be here this Thursday night. And if you go to investorschooling.com, you can sign up for a free class this Thursday night. And they'll even invite you back to a mastermind where you can learn all about financial stuff. How to make money. If money is no more useful than air, is that what the saying is? So
What's the saying? what was the saying?
it's whether or not money is important. It's no more important than air.
So it's all in how much you value it. Got it.
I like my air.
Yeah, I like my air too.
I like
Keeps
my
me
money.
breathing.
Yeah, and Larry likes his money.
Yeah.
So do come down to Investor Schooling. We will be back in 2 weeks at the same time at 11:30 Eastern Time. And if you want to be on the show, you should repeat this at least 7 times, as Larry Steinhouse says, which is go to impactmasterpanel.com, fill out the application. Tell us in the comments that you're really serious and you want to be on the show.
I like it.
All right, I think we're going to call it a day.
Oh wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Your next meeting is when?
Oh, the the 1 day intensive. The next one is on May 28th. It's Memorial Day weekend, but it's just right after Memorial Day weekend. And I think Dan's going to be there. I think
Yes.
Frank's going to be there for sure. I don't know if Larry's going to be there or not. But be brave, come down even if he is there. I mean,
Now I'm drinking water, please. I almost shot it out through my nose. You trying to kill me or help me here, Ken?
Go to Ken One Day. You have to spell that all the way out. KENONEDAY.com. And it's only $97 for the entire day. And you get to actually spend the entire day with us. Talk to us about your projects there. We'll have even more time to focus on your project. And we have other people there that will give you some great ideas.
And the last one was where this was created.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
right. We make things like this. Conversion chemistry kind of started at that. And a lot of other businesses have started at the 1 day intensive. So we would love to have you there. And eventually, maybe we'll get out and we'll have a 20th anniversary event for the Impact event. We'll talk
there.
about that coming up.
Pretty soon we're gonna have a 20 guest event.
20
We've
guests.
had 20 guests on this show that have all
That made it
benefited.
through to
Yeah.
the end.
That's right. All waiting in line, huh? Well, that
And then all
sounds
the people that
interesting.
didn't show go, oh man, I wish I would have done it.
The Hall of Shame show.
Yes, the Hall of Shame. We have to do that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well,
I think
onwards
we
and
need-
upwards.
Yeah, and I think we need to bring back some of the people that are these success
Absolutely.
stories.
Yeah, I like to have them back as well and just say, hey, what have you done in a month?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly right.
And then hot seat him again.
Yeah.
Because then he's
So what's
elevating
next?
them.
Yeah.
That, now
Elevate
they'll
them to
appreciate
Next
it.
level up.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
now
going
they'll
to the
appreciate
next
it. Sure.
level.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So for the
All right.
7th time,
What do we got? 59 seconds. Go ahead, Ken.
for the 7th time, if you want to apply to be on the Impact Master Panel, go to impactmasterpanel.com And we will see you on the hot seat and take your business to new heights and greater impact. That's a promise.
Very cool.
Bye, everybody.
It's been a blast.
Sort of.
Still is.
Frank gets upset because he has to drive over here for no show.
No, I'm just disappointed because I got the energy for the dude.
I know.
Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I'm the voice of reason here.
Yes,
So I have to say that. Could have been a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Still disappointing. A lot of brain work here, ready to go. We're like racehorses waiting for the buzzer,
Say
and the
goodbye. You
buzzer
got
never
5
comes.
seconds.
Goodbye.
ImpactMasterPanel.com.